Peace, love, and happiness wherever you are, my wonderful listener on our delightful, sweet planet called Earth. I'm going to be talking about a movie that we all have been long waiting for. If you're a comic book fan, especially if you're a fan of the Marvel fan of comics, we all have been waiting for the movie Spider-Man
Make a left
Far
turn on
From
Hamilton
Home.
Avenue.
I've been waiting for the movie for a long time, just like you have. Today, I'm not going to give any spoilers like most of them loudmouth YouTube reviewers do. They don't even give you a chance to go see the movie. The next day, they spilling the beans on a movie. And I can say that because I've been watching some of their reviews. But fortunately for me, I've seen the movie, so they couldn't surprise me or spoil anything for me. I'm not going to give any spoilers. I'm just going to make a comparison between this version of Spider-Man, played by, I believe, I could be wrong, Tom Holland. And I'm going to compare him to the classic, the first modern Spider-Man. Now, I must say that the first modern Spider-Man who portrayed Spider-Man and Peter Parker, definitely Spider-Man, with all of his abilities.
On Walther Avenue.
When I was a child in the 70s, there was a Spider-Man show on television, but it was weak and dampy and crappy.
Make a left turn on Walther Avenue.
It didn't even survive 3 seasons. When he shot his webs, he only shot like a rope out his hand. It was a white rope for his webs. Oh, God. He didn't have quick reflexes. He couldn't dodge a bullet. He did have a spider sense, but he was so slow, the spider sense didn't even help him any. So, the Tobey Maguire, he ushered in the modern era of Spider-Man. I'm going to be talking about this Far From Home movie, and I'm going to be talking about the classic Spider-Man movie that was one of the top superhero movies ever rated, when Spider-Man was fighting Doctor Octopus. I'm going to be giving my good and a bad take on, hopefully, both movies. And as I stated, it's my personal view. You got me again? I'm going to say it again. It's my personal view. My view may be different from your view, dear listener, but it's my view. Now, the thing I like about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and that Spider-Man versus Doctor Octopus, I don't know what the actual title was called.
On Fleetwood Avenue.
I don't know what the actual title, but it seemed like to me it displayed all of Spider-Man's powers. We got to see his spider sense. That version of Spider-Man, we knew 100% that Spider-Man had a spider sense, and he knew how to use it. This Tom Holland version, Holland, if I said it right, Spider-Man, it's debatable whether he got a spider sense. Yes. We saw in the Avengers Endgame how the hairs on his arm stood up. But I don't think they ever showed that again. I don't know, and if this movie, that the hair showed up on his hand, on his arm. That was a warning system. It stood up. I don't know if Tom Holland had a full-fledged spider sense. Now, in the movies, which is not a spoiler, he did say he had a sixth sense awareness, but he never called it spider sense. People in the movie was calling it something else, but they never called it spider sense. And I will admit, he did seem to use it and rely on it near the major so-called fight scene. But to me, the fight scene between Spider-Man and Mysterio, it did not nowhere near compare to the fight scenes between Spider-Man and Doctor Octopus. If you watch Spider-Man and Doctor Octopus fighting, it was like a fight to the death. They both had massive strength levels. They both. If you know anything about Mysterio, my good people, he cannot fight Spider-Man. He cannot. Because he's just a regular old human with very illusion-based powers based on technology. So, therefore, and I'm not giving no spoilers, because anybody, before the movie came out, you know it was Mysterio, and people could have done their simple research on Mysterio on the internet and found out that he's just a regular human. So that's not no spoiler. So Mysterio, he was not able to go head-to-head, mano-to-mano with Spider-Man,
In a quarter mile,
like Doctor Octopus.
Right turn on
That would
Fleetwood
make
Avenue
the
using
Doctor
upcoming right
Octopus
lane.
movie so appealing. He and Spider-Man was able to go toe-to-toe, tussle-to-tussle. Spider-Man was dodging and jipping out his way, dodging his objects. And this movie, Tom Holland, it's like he was getting hit a lot. And it's like his spider sense was working. Tom Holland's spider sense
Using the right lane, make
seemed
a
to
slight
be
right turn
a
on Fleetwood
weaker,
Avenue.
pale version of the spider sense inhibited or had by Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire's spider sense was more developed. He knew which direction the danger was coming from. He knew. He knew if something was coming from his behind, because his spider reflexes kicked in and made him jump out the way. Like when he was fighting the Goblin in that first movie. You know he had a spider
right
sense.
On Blair Road, using
The
the
Goblin stuck
right
behind him and he jumped out the way. In a second movie, the Green Goblin's son, not even with Doctor Octopus, the Green Goblin's son, Harry Osborn, threw them bombs at Spider-Man, and Spider-Man dodged out the way and snagged the bomb with his weapon and threw
Road, then pick up
the
on the
bomb
right.
back at Harry, and it blew up at Harry's face. Even in the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, his spider sense was so developed that when Doctor Octopus shot them little razor blade things at him, his spider sense helped him dodge most of them.
Yes, on the right.
I know he got cut by one because he was black off his arm, but his spider sense helped him to dodge the brunt of them. I didn't see Tom Holland in any Spider-Man movie, in any Avengers movie, have a spider sense to help keep him safe. Like even in the Avengers movie Civil War, he got snagged from the behind and caught by somebody and dragged out of the airport. Tobey Maguire's spider sense would have alerted him to that. You know that. Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, never got tricked, never got fooled, he never got snuck up on. The Tom Holland version, as you saw in this movie, got blasted by the robots, got shot by Mysterio, and on and on and on. Now, near the end, you all did see him use that spider sense in discovering where the real villain was. So I will give it to him there. He's starting to use the spider sense. I hope in future movies they show his spider sense working in tandem with his superhuman reflexes, because Spider-Man, I know about comic books. I was collecting them for 30 years. I know Spider-Man is allegedly 15 times faster than an Olympic level athlete. Not 15 times faster than a regular person. No, he's 15 times faster than the fastest human on the planet. With his spider sense and those comic books, he was dodging and weaving his way out of many dangers. And you saw it even in Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire. His spider sense was so developed, he was able to slink his way through a dark building to find that killer who killed his Uncle Ben. In the comic books many times, Spider-Man's spider sense enabled him to slink and crawl his way through a completely dark building. I don't know if that Tom Holland character got the spider sense awareness to do that, Kenny. Now, he like I said, he was starting to use it. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. He's starting to use it. He's new to being Spider-Man. But even Tobey Maguire in the first movie, he was new to being Spider-Man, and he had quick awareness of his spider sense. Tom Holland, this is his third movie showing, and his spider sense is still not developed. He can still be tricked. Now, the only good thing about Tom Holland in this movie, I guess, with modern technology, they did show him jumping around a lot like Spider-Man. In the comic books, Spider-Man made his enemies so angry they would call him a jumping bean. So I did like that about Tom Holland Spider-Man. He was jumping around a lot like a daggone jumping bean. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, because the technology was not like great back then. It did show him jump around a little bit, but he was not jumping and hopping and skipping like this Tom Holland version of Spider-Man. So that's my little take of the movie, my good people. I hope I didn't give any spoilers. I tried not to. My biggest complaint is that he didn't use his spider sense that much, and to my mind, Spider-Man 2, it was just called Spider-Man 2, that still outshines all of Tom Holland movies. That's my personal take, because in that Spider-Man 2, he had a greater villain to fight. He actually engaged the villain in hand-to-hand combat. That's by looking at the TV or the commercials you see. Since Mysterio was just a human being, he never fought Mysterio hand-to-hand. He just fought a bunch of illusions. So that's my take on the movie. That's why Spider-Man 2 is better in my mind. He fought a real person with power.